Yo, what's up, everyone? Kevin here. Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Going to be on here for the next hour to talk to you guys, answer any of your snowboard questions. I can see you guys in the chat, so maybe let me know down there how the video looks, how the audio sounds. I've actually got a new setup going on today, so I'm streaming this through my Sony camera, and I also have this Blue Yeti microphone. So new live chat setup. I'm also working with a few different things in the background, trying to set up the studio. So let me know in the chat, guys, how this sounds. And yeah, we'll get this underway. Stoked to be on here with you guys. I guess this has been about a month of quarantine, so it's been kind of strange for snowboarding and life in general. Haven't been snowboarding in over a month, so making it difficult for a snowboard YouTube channel. But been getting some really fun videos out, talking to other people in the snowboard industry. Got to connect with lots of people live, just talking, having a chat. Yesterday, got to talk to Elijah Teeter. That was super fun. He's a Olympic snowboard coach, professional snowboarder, and has coached some of the world's top snowboarders, which is really cool. So it was awesome talking to him. And yeah, lots of fun people I've had the chance to talk to the last few weeks. So today, gonna talk to you guys, and let's see what you guys are saying. First of all, shout out to everyone getting in early on the chat. We've got El Stacker on here. We've got Justin Joe, Lucas, Martin, Soccer E-Dog, 100 mile per hour films. Alina, Reggie's on here, Red's Cap, Highland Cow, Carrie Pierce, Kenny, Mr. Fresh 6. Thank you guys all for tuning in super early. Cypher X. Awesome. Thank you guys. Christian Meza asking with the first question, how old are you, Kevin? I'm 38. Yes, 38 years old. And yeah, I've been snowboarding since I was 15. And Martin A saying back below 500K subs. Yeah, so we cracked the 500K. We got a few thousand over, but as soon as all the ski resorts and everywhere shut down, I noticed that people pretty much just stopped watching snowboard videos or not watching them nearly as much. And it's understandable. People have other things on their mind. People are probably just watching the news, paying attention to other things. So yeah, if you're not snowboarding, then I feel like people are just less likely to watch snowboarding. So yeah, once all the ski resorts and everywhere closed down, the views went down, and then some people started to unsubscribe. But I'm sure once everything opens back up, once things go back to normal, the sub count will go up, and the goal for this time next year is to be at 600K. So I think we're gonna get there. It's just a little setback because of what's happening in the world. So a quick, short setback, but it's all gonna go back to normal, and then the videos will come back to normal too with snowboarding. I'm sure people get back snowboarding, and then once people are back snowboarding, then they'll start watching snowboarding again too. But yeah, people are telling me that it looks and sounds great. Awesome. Thank you guys. Yeah, and some people saying why unsub? Well, I think people subscribe to the channel for lots of different reasons. Some people maybe just subscribe so they can get some advice on their own snowboarding. So, if they can't do it, then maybe they unsubbed because they're not going to be able to use any of the tips. That's probably the one I would guess, is that people aren't going to be able to use the advice, so then they figure that they'll just unsub. All right. 100 mile per hour films. Ian says, what is your fitness routine in lockdown? Awesome question, man. So my routine, first I've been trying to eat pretty well. So if you guys have been watching this for a while, I'm 100% plant-based. So just been eating lots of, trying to eat good food. Sometimes I'll eat some junk food as well. I'll get some frozen veggie burgers or like some frozen pizzas and stuff like that. But trying to eat well, I find that when if I eat well, then I just feel better throughout the day, being more productive. I'm trying to do lots of like walks in my neighborhood. So I live in Whistler, and the neighborhood I'm in, it's like got lots of hills and lots of really quiet streets. So there's lots of places to explore. A few like short hikes into the woods around here too. Now that the snow's all melting, you can actually hike up into the woods a bit. So just mostly like walking and hiking around. That's my main like fitness. And then when I'm not outside doing some kind of hike or walk, I'm doing inside, I'm doing tons of stretching and yoga as well. So I find that by stretching, by doing yoga, it actually helps me like recover and feel better from snowboarding and some of those like old injuries I have. But then it's also just making my overall, like my body feel better, being able to stretch and do yoga. And then when snowboarding comes back, I'll just have that much more like flexibility for riding and going for tricks. So lots of walking walking up steep hills, some hikes into the woods, and then like eating as healthy as I possibly can, 100% plant-based, and then also all the stretching and yoga. So that's what I'm trying to do, and then mentally trying to do some stuff like do live chats like this, do the interviews. I've been putting together some compilations, if you guys have checked them out, like of some of the highlights from over the season. So doing stuff like that too keeps me like mentally kind of going and stimulated. So stuff like that. But yeah, great question. Sam says, hey Kevin, I just picked up a LibTech TRS HP and I'm looking at Union Contact Pros and the Force bindings. Which would work better? Sam, if I was you, I'd probably go for the Force, because the Force I think would complement the LibTech TRS a bit more. Like that board is, I think, a great board that can do kind of everything on all over the mountain, from groomers to park to a bit of powder. And the Force are kind of like a binding as well that can do a bit of everything, where the Contact Pros are more like park specific. So that's kind of up to you too. If you want more of a binding that can do everything, I'd go with the Force. If you want a binding that's maybe a little bit more softer for park, I'd go for the Contact Pros. Lucas wants to know, should I get the regular Solomon Huck knife or the Pro version for the whole mountain? That's a tough question. I would say, so the Pro version's a little bit stiffer. So if you like a board that's stiffer, then go for the Pro version. But I would say look at your own riding ability. If you're more of an intermediate rider, I would just go for the regular Solomon Huck knife. But if you are like a advanced high-level rider, then I would maybe check the Pro version, because the Pro version, that stiffness is going to make it more responsive, more like stable, but more aggressive too. So make sure that you can handle that aggressive style board. But yeah, the regular version is super fun as well. All right, lots of people in the chat, lots of great questions, guys. Everyone's talking to each other. Caitlin West is on here. Elias Joaquin, Mark0344, watching from Japan. Awesome, man. L Stacker saying Kevin to 1 million. Let's go. Yeah, let's 100K. Let's do, my goal is to do 100K a year, and so in 5 years we'll be hitting the million mark. That'd be pretty cool. Richard wanting to know, did you postpone your Icon Pass till next season? I haven't looked into that, but yeah, I'll have to look into what the passes are doing for us for next season. Yeah, Yannick's in the chat. Buddy Winters. Raul's watching from Spain. What's up, Raul? Joshua Jackson is on here. What's up, man? And yeah, let me know in the chat where you guys are all watching from as well. We got El Stacker watching from Boise, Idaho. Viraj watching from the Bay Area, California. Very cool. E-Man says, do you know why my heels hurt when I go toe side? Interesting. Your heels hurt when you go toe side. It could be that your boots are too soft. When you're snowboarding, you do need that bit of support for your ankles and your heels. So yeah, why would your heels hurt when you go toe side? To be honest, like, yeah, that's a unique question. I haven't heard of that before. But maybe make sure your boots are not too soft. Soft boots can be good, but when they're like way too soft, then you don't have any support. So that could be one reason. I don't know. Yeah, maybe let me know if that could be it. We got Highland Cow watching from the UK. Chris wants to know, do you do weightlifting in general? I don't do weightlifting. I find that, like, for me, I don't know. I just, weightlifting, I feel like is more for like building muscle. And, I don't know, the building of the muscle, I think isn't what I would need for snowboarding. So it's more being like flexible and like maybe doing some, just like body weight exercising. So like, I don't know, push-ups or squats or lunges. So just doing like, for me, it's just body weight, exercise is good enough without using the weights. Yeah, weightlifting, I feel like a lot of that is for bulking up, and you kind of want to be like slim for snowboarding, so not having a lot of bulky muscle. But yeah, that's just my opinion. It could work for you. Miguel Sanchez, what was life like when you were growing up? When I was growing up, my life was just, I don't know, just a normal kid. I went to school. I would ride my bike around town. I don't know, play sports with my friends. And I never really liked going to school too much. I always just wanted to be like outside doing sports, things like that. And I got into snowboarding when I was like 15, and my family never was into skiing or snowboarding. So I actually got into it because of my high school. My high school had like a weekly, once a week, like trip to a local resort. And that's how I got into it. But yeah, life was pretty normal. I grew up like towards the east side of Canada near Toronto. And we, had all 4 seasons. So like, yeah, summer, winter, fall, spring. Didn't put those in order, but, yeah, pretty normal Canadian upbringing. Viraj says, are you going to check out Chamonix next season? May go up the Midi and try some extreme runs. Yeah, I was actually looking at a video from France on YouTube this morning, was checking it out, and there's some like crazy steep runs. So really want to get back over to Europe for some riding. Just the mountains are so big, the Alps are huge, and would love to get onto some like really massive steep slopes. That's always really fun. Highland Cow said, been loving the compilation videos. Awesome. Thanks for checking them out. El Stacker wants to know if we can get some potatoes in the chat. Yeah, potatoes. Oh man, I've been eating tons of potatoes. Oh, lost my spot here. Where'd the potatoes go? Actually, the potatoes are like a good way to find out where I was in the chat. Jacob says, you inspired me to begin snowboarding earlier this season. Loved it. Just bought the Arbor Shiloh camber, Union Force bindings. Thanks for all you do. Awesome, Jacob. Cool setup, man. Raul says, hi, Kevin. Is it as important to match your boots with the type of board you're riding as it is to match your bindings with the type of flex your board has? I think so. Like, I guess it's a little bit personal preference, but for me, it's like you kind of buy a board, binding, and boots all with like the same, goals in mind for the type of riding you want to do with them. So if my park setup, I want everything to be a bit softer, because you want that softness to be able to have your board be more maneuverable, to be easier to go for tricks, for presses. The softer boots help you to kind of get your board into different positions. Softer bindings also just allow you to bend your ankles more in the binding. So all those things just allow you to do more tricks. So I try to keep it consistent through everything. I guess the one place where it's not the same is, say for if I was doing really some like big mountain riding, I'd want a stiffer board, but I'd also want stiffer bindings, but I wouldn't necessarily want stiffer boots, because it's almost like the stiffer bindings just help to make the boots more supportive as well. So that's the one place where I wouldn't do it. Just for me personally, I'm not a fan of like really stiff boots. So, and that for me too, I've had like foot pain with stiff boots as well. So I would rather just have the stiffer board, stiffer bindings, and then go with a softer boot. But I don't think that works the opposite way. I think if you're, say, for example, riding in the park with a soft board and soft bindings, if you have really stiff boots, for me, that would like throw me off. And I feel like I wouldn't have those like small movements I'd need to do in the park for tricks. So yeah, it's kind of like a weird combination sometimes, but keeping it fairly consistent is pretty good. That's a tough question, actually. Yeah, there's all kinds of different combinations there. Chris is watching from New York City, Soccer from San Diego, Emil from Denmark, Miguel from California. Awesome guys. Jacob from Miami Beach, Christian from Moreno Valley, California, Jordan McCloy from New Zealand, Sniper X watching from mandatory quarantine, Brisbane, Australia. Crazy. And yeah, we got more. Ilana watching from the Ukraine, Powell watching from Poland, and Sebastian from Argentina. Crazy. It's so cool talking to everyone here from all over the world. And it's so cool to see you guys can chat and talk to each other. In the comments there. It's cool. It's like a little snowboard community here on YouTube. It's amazing to see. All right. Buddy Winter says, still Adidas over Vans. Honestly, I'm a fan of Adidas and Vans. I've the boots over my shoulder back there, the Adidas Sambas. Been loving those. They're comparable to my Vans boots. My favorite Vans were, I really like the Vans Sequels and the Vans High Standard Pros. I would say that the Sambas are a little bit closer to the Vans High Standard Pros, with the Vans being a little bit softer and a little bit more comfortable straight away. The Adidas, it took a couple of days to like kind of break them in, but once I did, they were like, yeah, really comfortable, and kind of like a 4 out of 10 on the stiffness rating. So yeah, I really like the Sambas, but I would say I like the Vans just as much. It's between those two boots. I don't know which. I'll probably go back and forth between those for a while now. Emil wants to know, what is great about Whistler? Well, the cool thing about Whistler is it's just so big. There's like so much to explore. There's 2 mountains. Each mountain has tons of trees, tons of alpine, lots of places to explore, lots of chairlifts and gondolas. And Whistler also gets a lot of snow. So over the course of a season, we just get like meters and meters of snow, like, I don't know, like 15 meters of snow over the course of the winter. So sometimes in November we'll have, 3 or 4 meters, December, a couple meters, and it just like continues. So that's the good part of Whistler. The bad part is it does get busy and the snow's not that consistent. It can be kind of heavy at times, but overall, like, Whistler's cool for those reasons. Just tons to explore, lots of different riding, and lots of good snow. Soccer E-Dog says, you should try Corbettes at Jackson Hole. Yeah, I got to ride at Corbettes last year. So if you guys don't know, Corbettes Couloir, it's like this like steep chute entrance in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and went down it once, and it was like didn't jump into Corbettes because the landing looked pretty flat and nasty, but I did ride into it, and it was really thrilling. Go back and check out that video. I think Corbettes Couloir is in the video title on the channel. Steve Zimmerman says, hey Kev, first time I've caught the live stream for ages. It's that big shutout from Scotland again. Yeah, shout out to Scotland, everyone. Thanks, Steve. I hope the Scotland snowboard season starts up smoothly next year, and I hope everyone in Scotland is being safe. Yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments too, like how the setup is. So if you guys are tuning in a little bit late, I got the new camera with the microphone and the background and some lighting. So trying to, because of the quarantine and all this spare time I have, I've been trying to step up the quality of the live chat. So let me know, maybe give me like a rating out of 10, like what the old setup quality was like compared to the new setup quality. Because I'm hoping that it's better. But also tell me if there's any problems, if you guys see anything that can be improved. And Evan says, started snowboarding this year. Thanks for teaching me how to start snowboarding. Awesome, Evan. Glad that the videos helped. Brian says, have you heard anything about the 686 Hydra stash? Yeah, so I know that 686, they did send a lot of those jackets out to some other YouTubers, and I heard pretty good things. They look like a cool jacket. For me, I don't know if I need to have so the Hydra stash is like a water bladder that's like inside I think on the side of the jacket somewhere around the waist. So there's some water in there if you want to get a drink. So that's pretty cool, but I don't know if I would use that function. I'll usually have like a backpack around somewhere or just take a break and go inside to get some water. So having like water on me, like inside my jacket, it's not like the biggest priority for me. So I don't know. I think it's cool. It's like a cool piece of tech for a snowboard jacket, but I don't think it's like a really necessary or like it's not one of the features that I'm looking for. So it's kind of a cool bonus if you did like that jacket anyway, but I wouldn't get it for the Hydra stash function specifically. But it's kind of like a cool like bonus option on a jacket. Daniel Z says maybe a 1080p live stream for an upgrade. Oh yeah, I wish this isn't streaming in 1080p. How do I set that up? If anybody knows, Daniel Z, maybe message me somewhere after this and tell me how to set that up. DM me on Instagram if you can. Yeah, a good way if you guys have like some advice for me on how to step this up. Maybe send me a DM on Instagram at Snowboard Pro Camp. But yeah, how do I go? I want to step it up. I'm looking at some options here in the streaming, but nothing says HD. All right, we'll figure that one out later. Thanks, Daniel Z. Raul says, are you going to get the 2021 Orca? Yeah, that Orca looks pretty cool. So they've changed the graphic. Now it's like the top. It's like you're like looking down at the top of an Orca whale. So that's pretty cool. So I actually had to send in my 2020 Orca for warranty. There was a part of the board that was coming apart. And so I brought it into Comor. They sent pictures of it to LibTech, and I guess the guys at LibTech said that it was like a manufacturer defect. So they're gonna, so we sent that board in, and they're gonna send me a 2021. So I will be getting a 2021 Orca. I'll probably get another POW board or two possibly as well, just to mix it up, because this past 2 seasons I've ridden the Orca. Been loving that board, but I also want to try other POW boards too. So I'll probably get 1 or 2 other POW boards. I've been looking at the Jones Ultra Mind Expander. So that looks pretty nice as well. The reason I might go for the Ultra Mind Expander is because of the Ultra has more stiffness, which I like for like riding fast and landings, but also just the cool shape of the Mind Expander with like the spoon shape in the nose and the taper, and just overall looks like been seeing other people ride it and having a blast. So yeah, it'd be cool to check out that board. But But yeah, then there's a few other boards as well I've been looking at. Maybe a spring break POW board. Yeah, lots of options out there. So may pick up another board or two for powder as well next season on top of the Orca. All right, so somebody's saying that I can change it by going into the settings and then resolution. All right, I'll have to do that later too. I think it's still all good. Cyper X saying, I'm going to look at the Party Wave. Yeah, that's a cool looking board too. This Battalion Party Wave. I think TJ had that board as well. Lucas saying, are you going to keep the GNU Headspace or find another park board? Yeah, I've been loving the Headspace as well. Let's this board right over my shoulder. Yeah, really fun board. Park all season with it. Definitely maybe my favorite park board I've ever ridden. But again, yeah, it's like fun to check out other boards. So I may look at some other park boards. I've been looking at the Capita A Simulator. That looks like a pretty nice park board. It's got the A Sim, just like the Headspace. It doesn't have magnet traction, but that may be okay for park riding. But yeah, the A Simulator by Capita looks like a pretty nice park board. So looking at something like that. El Stacker saying, I was thinking I should get an Orca. Awesome, El Stacker, man. Yeah, you love it, dude. Justin said, hey, Kevin, you ever thought of coming to the East Coast? Mont Tremblant is awesome. Yeah, actually, my first snowboard trip when I was a kid was to Mont Tremblant in Quebec and loved it. It was like maybe a 5-hour drive, or 5 or 6 or maybe 7 hours from where I was living in Ontario. And yeah, it'd be fun to get back to the East Coast for sure. I know there's lots of resorts all between Quebec, Ontario, and then through the States as well, Vermont, New York, New Jersey, all the way down North Carolina. So lots of places to explore on the East Coast still. Cyper X saying, this year going to do my Avi course and get a split board. Awesome, man. Yeah, I did my Avi course maybe it must have been like 10 years ago now, and that was definitely one of my favorite like snowboard courses I've ever done. So highly recommend the Avi course to everyone out there if you're interested in exploring the backcountry at all. You're gonna like learn so much so that you can stay safe when going into the backcountry. And it's just like a fun course because you're in the mountains. When I did my course, I like rented a split board, so that was like a really fun experience. But yeah, then you get the skills to learn how to use all that backcountry safety equipment. And yeah, having a split board, this one's mine just over my shoulder there, the Jones Solution. Yeah, really fun split board, and it just allows you to get out to some really cool places. So that's awesome. Alan says, looks professional with the top of the microphone in view. Maybe put on headphones and hold onto one in your hand. Hold on to one headphone in my hand. I do actually have some headphones, and I'll use the headphones when I'm talking to somebody else. If like somebody else is on the screen with me talking, then I have to use the headphones. But yeah, all right. Thanks for the tip, Alan. Maybe I'll get some bulky headphones. Yeah, because I guess with headphones it's kind of funny, but you like listen to the sound of your own voice as you're speaking, which is it's a bit strange, but I know a lot of podcasters do it. And Soccer E-Dog says, just watched the Corpettes vid at Jackson Hole. It was fire. Awesome. Thanks, man. Raul says, it'd be awesome to have other pro snowboarders in the live stream. Could you get T. Rice, Xavier De La Rue, or any others? I think it would be really interesting chat. Yeah, I'm definitely going to start reaching out to some of those guys. I actually sent Jeremy Jones an invite to come on and hang out, but he didn't get back to me. That's okay. I'm sure he's getting just hundreds of messages in his inbox. But yeah, whoever, I'm going to start reaching out to people, and whoever gets back to me, I'd be really stoked to have other pro snowboarders on. So like, yeah, maybe Xavier De La Rue, that'd be sick. I know he does a lot of how-tos as well. So we could chat about how-tos and some of his backcountry experience. Yeah, it'd be awesome to have Travis Rice on as well. He's another guy though. He's like so busy. I'm sure he doesn't have time for an interview, but he might. Yeah, who knows? I had the chance to actually talk to him a bit in Jackson Hole. So he's in one of my Jackson Hole videos. He's not in the video where I ride Corvettes, but I think it's like the video before that. And his name, I'm pretty sure, is in the title of the video as well. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out as well. We've got, how many people do we have in the chat? 60 people in the chat, 36 likes. Let's see if we can get the likes up to 60 people, 60 likes. I think we can do it. And yeah, stoked to have you guys all in here. In Motion SLB, what's up? What's up, Yannick? Yanni, what is up? Yanni is in the chat. Arnaud says, are you going to do a snowboard with David this year? Yeah, I'm going to be doing, hopefully, lots of snowboarding with David this year. He's talked about coming to South America with us. We're probably going to be going down to New Zealand to snowboard with him. And then, yeah, hopefully he wants to come back to North America for next season. Yeah, I'd be stoked to do tons of snowboarding with David. He's killing it on his YouTube channel, and he's an amazing snowboarder and just like really fun to hang around. He's always like playing pranks on me, like hiding around corners and popping out and filming my reaction and stuff. So yeah, I'd be sick to do some videos with David. He's also been killing it on the fingerboard videos. I don't know if you guys have been watching Fingerboard Week over on David's channel, but he's been putting up a video like every day for the last like 7 days. Not just like not just a business week, but like a full week of fingerboard videos. And they've been awesome. I think my favorite one, which one was my favorite? Maybe like the world's longest fingerboard video. That one was pretty funny. If you guys have checked out any of David's fingerboard videos, let me know. Or like if you haven't seen Fingerboard Week, definitely go check it out. But I've been also talking to David about having him on the stream. So we might be doing a live video together in a couple hours. So yeah, stay tuned because yeah, David might be hopping on for a Fingerboard Week interview with David in a couple hours. So hopefully we pull that off and we get that done today. That'd be super fun. David, if you're watching, let's get it done, man. Let's do it. We set up a time to do it on the 24th, but the tricky part is that it's the 24th in New Zealand, but it's the 23rd in Canada. So I don't know if he meant the 24th in Canada or 24th in New Zealand, but we're gonna try to figure that out. And Arad says, hey Kevin, once again watching from Israel here at 1:30 a.m. Miss watching new awesome videos from you, TJ, David, and all the guys. Hope we'll get to see you guys ride together again ASAP. Stay safe. Awesome. Thanks, Arad. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Israel. And yeah, I hope you're staying safe as well. And yeah, I'm sure we'll be getting on snow together soon. Stoke Dog 8 has been watching David's Fingerboard Week. Awesome. All right. Justin says, I think it would be dope if Kevin interviewed Jeremy Jones or Terrier. Yeah, definitely. Both those guys would be awesome. I met Terrier briefly at High Cascade. Seemed like a really nice, cool guy. Oh, and Kevin Yep is watching. What's up? Shout out, Kevin. All right. Highland Cow says, I recently bought the Yes Basic. I think of pairing it up with Union Contact Pros. Is that a good pair? Yeah, I think so. The Union Contact Pros, if you want a softer binding for more freestyle type stuff, if you want to do butters, if you want to get some tricks down, I think the Contact Pros are a good choice. If you're more into riding groomers, carving, powder, stuff like that, then maybe go for a stiffer binding. L Stacker wants to know if I've seen the Yes 420 powder hull POW board. Yeah, I've definitely seen it. Looks like a really cool board, the Yes 420. And yeah, I haven't tried the powder hull out yet on the Yes boards, but it would be cool to demo one of those. Exerts says, hope you're staying safe, man. Can't wait for next season. Yeah, absolutely. Been very low key here in Whistler. Just the town in general is very quiet anyways. So there's not a lot of people around. So that's kind of easy to social distance with not very many people in town in general. But yeah, making a trip to the grocery store maybe once a week. Yeah, either myself or my wife Jill. Actually, my wife Jill, she just got back from the grocery store. And yeah, the stores and things have been fairly empty too, so it's easy to keep like a distance and everything like that. And yeah, just hopefully this doesn't last too much longer, but I think everything will be all good, even if it goes for another month or whatever's coming up. But I would be stoked to be able to get back snowboarding. I know High Cascade has got the snowboard camps coming up for the summer, so hopefully those are a go, and hopefully I can get down to the States, open up the border so that we can get down. But Chris has a super chat sticker. Thanks for the support, Chris. $5 super chat with a pair of hands clapping. Thank you, man. Thank you, Chris. Reggie wants to know, Kevin, will you try the Oakley Fall Line XL next season? Yeah, those look like pretty cool goggles. Yeah, the Fall Line XL. I had the regular Fall Lines before, and I did think they were a little bit too small for me. I've got kind of like a bigger head, I guess. So the Fall Line XL may be like the size for me. So yeah, I'll look into checking those out, Reggie. All right, just gonna have a sip of ginger ale. Tommy wants to know, any recommendations for an all mountain board? Yeah, absolutely. Like there's so many out there. There's so many to choose from, but a few mountain boards that I've liked in the past. The Arbor Westmark rocker version. I think that was a great all mountain board. It's got the I can't remember the tech in it. The Arbor Grip Tech. Yeah, so it's got the extra contact points for grip. Really good for ice. Also the T-Rice Pro by LibTech. That was a great all mountain board. The Burton Deep Thinker, kind of a board that you can take for freestyle or for into powder all mountain. So there's a few there, but yeah, just look into it. Check out some of the old videos. There's lots of videos. TJ's done tons of reviews on Snowboard Pro Camp as well for boards, so you can go back and look back at a few of those. But yeah, there's really a board out there for all conditions, and just it's about finding the one that's good for you. But yeah, there's so many out there. It's hard to it's hard to recommend one. Uh, Reggie making fun of my Canada Dry. Yeah, Canada Dry. I guess they sell that worldwide, don't they? Do they sell Canada Dry everywhere? We got Rob Gams on the chat. What's up, Rob? Thanks for tuning in, man. We got Snow Birdie on here as well. Shout out, another OG on the channel. Almost everyone on here is an OG. Oh, Devin says, "Hey Kevin, sorry to repeat myself. Broke a leg this season. Have you ever broken something? And if so, how was it getting back on the board?" Man, sorry to hear that. I hope you're fully recovered, or your recovery is going well. I would say that it can be difficult. Like, I've had a few different injuries that I've had to take some time off for. And I would say, like, yeah, the best thing to do is, see your doctor, go by their recommendations, whatever that is, and then get into some kind of like off snow therapy where you're, strengthening, doing some strengthening exercises, making sure you're flexible. So strengthening it and getting the flexibility back. And yeah, then when you start getting back on snow, just like take it slow. I'm sure like the first few times out, you're gonna be sore. But if you just I'm sure once you continue with all those good things that you need to do to get back, and you take it slow back on the snow, then I think you'll be good. So yeah, I think recovery is different for everybody because of different injuries and different severities of injuries. But yeah, just get back to it. Steve Zimmerman says, "New sponsor, Kev." No new sponsor. Why do you say that, Steve? Is there something I'm missing? Yeah, let me know. New sponsor, Kev? No sponsors at all. Not even one. Zero sponsors. No new ones, no old ones. Christian says that Canada Dry is called USA Dry in the States. Very cool. Lars wants to know, "Hey Kev, what's your favorite type of lift?" I think just the standard chairlift, 4-seater chairlift, high-speed 4-seat chairlift. That's probably my favorite. Those like multiple, when it starts to get like 5-6 seats, then it gets a bit too crowded. But I do the place in the world where I think the lifts are the best are probably in the best lifts are probably in Switzerland. So I would say the Swiss lifts are like number one. The best gondola I was ever in was in Austria, Stubai Glacier. That gondola was pretty amazing. Best chairlift, Switzerland. Best in Lachs, Switzerland, and best gondola in Austria, Stubai Glacier. Shred 1904, Naravi. What camera are you using, Kev? Great quality. Awesome. Thank you, man. So the camera is my Sony RX100 Mark V. So yeah, using that camera. Hope it looks good for you guys. Adjust it a little bit here. How's that look? Oh, Highland Cow says, "Did you used to be sponsored by Skull Candy?" Yeah, back in the day, actually, they were like a temporary sponsor for, I think they did 10 videos back in 2000 and I don't know, 2015, around there. So yeah, there was an old sponsor. Shout out to Skull Candy. Those guys are awesome. Yeah, I had a friend at Skull Candy, James, and I used to teach snowboarding with him. And yeah, I always liked Skull Candy headphones anyway. I always had pairs before that. And yeah, they worked with me for 10 or 20 videos. Maybe it was 20 videos that there was like a short-term sponsorship with. So that was cool. That was awesome. Nathan says, yo, Kevin, how did you book your housing for Japan? Did you use Airbnb or something like that? Also, any tips for Japan? Nathan, I can't remember what we booked our Airbnb through for Japan, but two people on the chat were here, so they were there, so maybe they would know. Shred 1904 and In Motion SLB, so maybe one of those guys can let us know in the chat what we booked our house through for Japan. And Shred 1904 says, Kevin, glacier goals for this summer: Norway, Austria, Switzerland, Les Deux Alpes, and France. Yeah, in the summer, yeah, just anywhere in Europe. I want to get over there. I want to ride a glacier park in Europe this summer. That'll be the goal. I really want to do that. So hopefully the borders open and I can hop onto a plane, maybe bring Jill if she wants to come, and go snowboarding in Europe. That'd be the ultimate goal. And Rob Gam says, Kevin, what do you think about Mount Baldy reopening in California? Yeah, cool. I think it's tough because I think things are going to start reopening slowly. I feel like snowboarding is one of those activities that you can do and stay fairly keep a good distance from other people. Everyone's wearing, maybe they could have a mandatory face mask for snowboarding, which most people already have. And most people are already wearing mitts or gloves. So, and it's outdoors too. So I feel like that's one of a very low risk activity to get going back into. So yeah, I think it's okay as long as, I'm sure it won't be that crowded either. So I feel like, as long as the crowds are small or very dispersed or no crowd at all. And I feel like snowboarding is one of those things you can get back to doing if other things are opening up too, which I think some places are starting to start opening up certain parts of the economy, I guess. So if that's something that, and it's also it's probably different based on where you are. Some resorts probably won't open because they'll be too busy, or if it was someplace where you had to get on a gondola to go up, I'm sure gondolas probably are not a good idea to be getting into a crowded gondola. But if it's chairlifts in remote places where there's not going to be a lot of people, I think it's probably okay. But yeah, it's definitely on a case by case basis. Figuring out all those factors. But yeah, I'll have to look into that, see what's opening. So Mount Baldy in California, I'll have to follow that one. Karen Gardner says, won't let me send a super chat. Oh no, anyone else? Karen, I believe maybe it depends on what you're watching on. Maybe because you're watching on an iPhone? I feel like you can't send super chats on an iPhone, but maybe if somebody else knows, you can let me know. Is anybody else having a problem doing a super chat? We've had one. We've had one, $5 US. So Highland Cow says, I really want to learn how to method because they look super cool. Yeah, definitely a cool looking grab and a fun grab too. Methods are super fun. Yeah, really. There's a video, maybe one or two videos on the channel as well on how to method grab if you need any tips. Justin says it's also hot in LA right now, so I think the snow at Baldy is going to melt quickly. Yeah, so there may not be any snowboarding left shortly anyway, so. Nathan says, when going out of a gate, how do you know how to get back to the lift? Okay, so yeah, when you're going out of bounds in a gate, I think it's just being able to read the train, maybe following somebody else, watching where other people are going that who know where they're going. Yeah, sometimes you can figure it out. Sometimes you can actually just ride. If you ride the run first you stay like on the run, then you can kind of like see where it leads out to. But yeah, it's about talking to other people, maybe going with somebody who has experience and looking at a trail map possibly. Yeah, there's lots of ways to figure it out, but there's different risks on different mountains. So some places are more high risk than others. So those places where there's a higher risk, you may want to be with somebody that knows where they're going. But other places are just less risk resorts where you can explore a bit more by yourself. But yeah, it's a combination of looking at trail maps, scoping it out for yourself, talking to people, and maybe going with someone. Justin Visey with the super chat test says, just a test, sending from my iPhone, #taco fund. Awesome. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, appreciate it. There are still a lot of takeaway places open in Whistler. I haven't been using them too much, but the La Cantina tacos and burrito spot is still open. So maybe I'll get a taco for takeaway on you, man. Thanks for the support. But Karen, what's up, Karen? It's Justin's got it. Karen says, I'm on an iPhone, but that's how I've always sent them, so I don't know. Oh, interesting. I don't know, Karen. But yeah, thanks anyway. Just send me positive super chat vibes. That's good enough. But yeah, Karen, thanks just for being on the chat. That's amazing. And Karen, I hope that everything opens up for you guys down in Australia. Would be a real bummer if the season didn't start down there. I hope that things are getting back to normal for you guys down in Oz. Oh, CyperX says, I had to refresh the chat to get the super chat to come up properly on the computer. Okay, interesting. And Buddy Winters says, need one more like. Yeah, so we're 2 likes away from 60. Very close to 60 likes. Thanks, guys. XAV says, hey, do you went Canada snowboarding? Because I come from Canada, Quebec. Yeah, so I live in Whistler, BC, Canada. So that's my home base in Canada for snowboarding is Whistler. Been to Tremblant once, grew up snowboarding in Ontario, and have been to Revelstoke as well here in BC. Also to Grouse Mountain near Vancouver. So lots of different spots around Canada. Stoke Dog 8 says the Taco Fund was also in Janice's live stream. Nice. Shout out to Janice. Hope she's doing well down in California. I saw a recent video with her living in a van, so that was really cool. Devin says, ever been riding up to Alaska? Never been to Alaska snowboarding, but I've seen tons of snowboard videos where they do the heli trips up in Alaska, and that'd be a dream. So hopefully get that done. Maybe next season plan a heli trip to Alaska. That would be really cool. And Daniel Z wants to know, what tricks do you want to learn once the season starts? Yeah, good question, Daniel. I think for me, like more rail tricks, maybe more front lips, maybe some back lips or some front boards onto some rail or tube type features. Yeah, those are really fun and they feel really good when you get them. I've done a few 270s off of some features and would like to do more of that, more 270s off. And yeah, maybe just more. I don't know why rail tricks for me are really fun. They're really difficult. I find it very scary hopping onto like a metal tube or rail, but it's very like fun when you do get it. So hopefully practice some more of that stuff. And Raul says, favorite snowboard movie, Deeper, The Fourth Phase, etc. Man, there's so many. I feel like I would have to go back to one of the MacDog films that I used to watch. I feel like my favorite one, it was called Follow Me Around. It's an older MacDog film. It's probably from like 2007, around there. But that was my favorite like snowboard movie for years and years. So yeah, Mac Dog, Follow Me Around. Maybe one of the Forum movies as well. So many of those as well, but I think Forum or Against Them was my favorite Forum movie. But those are old now. Those are all from the late 2000s. And Karen Gardner getting the super chat through. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it. Sending out the vibes. Awesome. Thanks, Karen. Appreciate it. Hope you and the girls and the family are all doing well over in Australia. Thanks for the support. And Try Hard KFC says, this year I bought a snowboard and I learned very quick. It's fan and I'd like to learn from this channel. Awesome. Well, thank you for this. Thanks for the comment. And yeah, I'm stoked that the videos help you learn. Alexander Meyer with the super chat from Canada says, is a 159 centimeter too big for a 5'8", 165 pound guy? Just bought a LibTech E-Jack knife in that size. My weight is minimum weight is 140 plus. So you weigh 165 pounds, a 159. I would say that that's a good size for you. That's like a good size if you're into carving. If you're into carving and powder, I think that's a fine size. It may be like a little bit big, but it's just going to mean that you're going to be that much more stable for carving, riding at high speeds, and for like powder. So if that's the kind of stuff you like to do with that board, then I think having it a little bit big is fine. If you want to do other stuff with the E-Jack knife, if you're into like park tricks, like any kind of freestyle stuff, then that board may feel a bit big for you. So yeah, just depends on what you want to do with that board. It's okay to have it a bit bigger if you're into just more carving, riding fast, riding the groomers, and then going off into powder. I think having the board a little bit, couple centimeters too big, and it'll be fine. Reggie with the $10 super chat. Thanks, Reggie, for the support, man. Says hashtag support Snowboard Pro Camp from DWCP family. Awesome. I love how it's turned from the DWCP crew to the DWCP family. Awesome, man. Thank you. And yeah, sometimes, I'll like check in on the DWCP family, and it's cool to see what you guys are saying. I definitely need to chime in more often, but shout out to all those guys. Hope everyone's being safe out there, and thanks for the support, Reggie. You live in Rancho Cucamonga, right? Down near Los Angeles. I love the name of that city. That's like the best name of a city I've ever heard. Rancho Cucamonga. Let me know if that's right, if you really do live there. Alex says, I'm 16 and my dream is to live in the Alps and just snowboard every day. What do you recommend to have snowboarding as a living? There's lots of things. If you want to like work in snowboarding, then you can kind of like think about what you want to do in snowboarding, because there are lots of different things. You can work in a snowboard shop. You can get involved with a snowboard company, like somewhere in like, if you're good at marketing or any of the video stuff, or you have some special skills, you can maybe work for a snowboard company in some way. You can also become a snowboard instructor if you're interested in teaching snowboarding or coaching snowboarding. You can go that route as well. You can just work for the resort as like in a job for the resort, and then get the free pass and all the perks to working for the resort so that you can snowboard on your days off. Or you can also just move to a resort town and get a normal job and then just be close to the mountains so that whatever your normal job is, when you have your days off, you can go snowboarding. So there's lots of different ways to do it. Some of the more difficult ways would maybe be like a snowboard YouTuber. That's something that you have to like build up towards. It's not something that you can make a career overnight, but something that you can start working towards. Or you could become like a professional snowboarder too, if you think your skills are at that level. So lots of different ways. But yeah, it's all just about making it happen. Just go and do it, and just keep asking yourself, like, what do you want to do? Like, what draws you? What career draws you in, or which ones don't? And yeah, just go in that direction. El Stacker Adventures with the super chat, $2 USA, saying DWCP family, thanks for the live chats. El Stacker, thank you, man. Thanks for being a huge supporter. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I've been checking out. El Stacker's been getting up some live chats as well. Recently monetized, maybe just over a week ago. So, man, I hope you're raking in the dough, El Stacker. But yeah, I've been my favorite video of yours is still the how to survive the quarantine, or like something about how snowboarders can survive the quarantine. So that was a really good video. Elliot, love that one, man. And all right, yes. Yeah, it's yeah, people saying too, hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well out there, because yeah, it's a tough time at the moment with quarantine, with things going on in the world. Like, yeah, some people are having harder times than others as well, like either maybe losing a job or getting sick. So let's definitely hope everyone, yeah, is out there doing well, being safe. But yeah, I know it's a hard time for some people at the moment. So yeah, if you guys are in quarantine, a cool thing to do is like video chat a friend. If you guys know anybody that is maybe having a rough time or not, you can just like, video chat a friend. It's always like cool to connect that way. Yeah, being on here talking to you guys is like a way that definitely like just helps me stay a bit sane too through all this stuff, is being able to come on and talk to you guys. So thank you guys all for hopping on and hanging out with me. Alexander Meyer with the super chat from Canada says, who is the sexiest, Andreas, Chris, or TJ? Wow, that's a tough one. On Instagram, I recently posted up some photos for Earth Day, and came across a few different photos, and I would say out of that crew, I think Chris had the sexiest pose. So he looked pretty sexy in a few photos from our hike in Mount Yote in Japan. So at the moment, I would say Chris, but overall, everyone has their sexy moments. But Chris, he's got the hair, he's got the chiseled jaw from England. He's got that British look. He's maybe more of like a Scotland look to him. But yeah, Chris is maybe the sexiest one. Oh, Engen says Andreas is the sexiest. Okay. Yeah, and Engen's Andreas has some good style. He's definitely got a look to his own. But, I guess sexy is in the eye of the beholder, really. Oh, Shred1904 says, I took that Chris photo. Yeah, Naravi, you definitely you captured a sexy moment for sure. Efficiency Chewy says, new to the channel, I have a question, and sorry if you've already covered this one in one of your videos. What kind of maintenance or wax should I do or put on my board to store it through the summer? Awesome question. Yeah, for sure. So for storing your gear through the summer, easy things to do is to tie up your boots, because you want your boot to like hold its shape. So I would do up your boots. Also do up your bindings. By doing up your bindings, again, it helps the straps just like maintain their shape. You can like loosen off the bolts on your bindings a little bit, just so that they're not like cranked all the way down all summer long. But yeah, waxing your board is a good idea. Just putting any wax is good, really. Probably whatever wax you think you're going to be using on opening day, you can just put that onto the board. And just having like a fresh wax on over the summer just helps to protect the base against humidity or dryness or whatever it is. So yeah, give it a quick clean. You can, clean it off with just like what are those things, like a pad or like some kind of pad that can just like just give it a quick rub to get any like old wax or dirt off. You can even kind of like scrape if there's some wax on there, just give that old wax a scrape off. And just give it a wax and store it someplace that's going to be like fairly cool and dry over the season. And don't stack anything on top of your board, just kind of keep it. You can either stand it up somewhere or lay it down, but just some place where it can live naturally over the summer. But yeah, no fancy trick to waxing it or what kind of wax. I think most wax will be fine. And Reggie says, missing Mongolian Grill and Oyama Ramen. Yeah, unfortunately, both those places, Mongolian Grill is closed here in Whistler, but Oyama Ramen, I think you can still do takeout from there, but I haven't done any ramen takeout. I feel like ramen isn't the best food for takeaway. Narav saying, store the board in a cool shaded place. Absolutely. And Highland Cow, what sort of wax should I use without having to be an expert? Excuse me. Yeah, you definitely don't need to be an expert. Just go with whatever wax you've been using through this season, or just get like an all temp wax. So nothing, you don't need any fancy wax at all. Yeah, Narav Stride 1904 saying all temp wax is standard. Jose Bautista also missing Mongolian Grill and Oyama Ramen. Shout out Jose. And shout out to Ruby as well. Owen says, so I'm super scared of hitting rails, and I was wondering if you had any tips to get past the fear of rails. Interesting, man. Yeah, I would say like first get really good at boxes. So find lots of boxes to do and like progress with different tricks on boxes. And the way that I like did my first, like, for example, like board slide on a rail was to actually find a box that was very similar to the rail. And like, so like if there's like a flat rail, find a flat box where you can just practice, for example, like the board slide on the box over and over and over again. Then when you go to take it to the rail, everything is like the same. So then when you go to do it on the rail, it's like a very similar thing. But also like start with the easiest trick, the trick you're most comfortable with. So if you can do a bunch of tricks on a box and you can 50-50 that box, no problem, then maybe try a 50-50 on a very easy rail to start. And once you do that a bunch of times and you're feeling comfortable on the rail and you can do the board slide on the box, no problem, then maybe try it on the easy rail. So it's just about progressing by doing it a lot ahead of time. And you can also get an off snow training setup going. So I've got a 2-liter pop bottle that I've put water into, and then I've got like a skate deck with shoes taped to it, and then I can practice my rail tricks like off the snow, just getting comfortable hopping onto that pop bottle tube and getting balance on there. So there's like ways you can practice for the rail off snow throughout the summer. And El Stacker is saying that Andreas has been killing the vlogs recently. Yeah, Andreas, he's like, he outsmarted us all because he has like a bunch of, like videos from the winter that he's like been holding on to and then posting them all throughout the quarantine time. So yeah, he's been killing it, getting up all the videos. Yes, that's awesome to see. Andreas saying, yo, Kevin, I'm trying to figure out how to cook a stir fry. You know anything about cooking one? What should I put in there? Nice, man. You are taking it to the next level. So how to cook veggies, how to cook a stir fry with Kevin. So when I do it, I usually so you can use oil. So put a little bit of oil like in a pan and then put in your get the oil kind of on like a medium heat and then start throwing in your veggies or whatever you want to put in there. But I usually actually don't use oil. I'll just do like water. So put a little bit of water into the pan and then put whatever veggies in you want. And then as the veggies are cooking, that water's going to evaporate. So you got to put in just like a little bit more as you go to kind of keep so that the veggies don't like stick to the pan or get burnt. But yeah, medium heat, a little bit of water, throw in the veggies. And then you can also start to put in whatever sauce you like with your stir fry. So start throwing in the whatever flavor sauce you want to go with it. So if it's sweet and sour or teriyaki or what are some of the other ones, like sweet chili sauce. So put in some of that sauce like as you're cooking it, and then it almost like marinates with whatever stir fry you got going on there. And then from there, it's also your choice if you want to do rice or if you want to do noodles. So when I used to do like a noodle stir fry, I would like boil the noodles separately. And then when it came time, like I would drain the noodles and then I would put them in with the veggies and the like sauce that they've been cooking in, so that the veggies kind of like absorb the flavor of the sauce as well. So if you're doing sweet and sour, then the veggies are sweet and sour with all the noodles are sweet and sour with all the veggies, and then cook that all together in the pan for like a minute or two as well. And then, then you're golden. But you can do the same thing with the rice. But with the rice, I would put like your veggies or whatever you got cooking with the sauce and the water. I would put that on top of the rice. It doesn't work quite the same adding the rice mixture in. But rice is super easy to cook too. Just like read the back of it. It's like, 1 cup of water to 2 cups of rice. Put that in, bring it to a boil, and then set it back to a minimum for however long the rice takes to cook. Different rice takes different time. But yeah, then that's like a good money saver too. Cooking rice or like stir fries at home, that's like a good way to save money. Especially at this point, if nobody has the time to, or if everyone's not maybe working as much as they normally would. So a good money saver is to cook at home. Good question, man. Karen says, this a message for Jillian. Next time the boys come to Perisher, you need to come hang and ride with me while they're doing their park thing. I'll show you around. Awesome, Karen. I'll tell Jill. She's out in the living room doing something. So after this, I'll tell Jill about the offer. Yeah, she would love it in Australia. That'd be so fun. Yeah, you guys can ride, check out, go exploring the mountains. She would love that. Andreas, you need to post a picture of your stir fry onto Instagram when you're done, or like include it in a vlog. Include you making a stir fry into your vlog, man. I'll definitely watch that. Oh, Jill is on here too. It's Mongoli grill, not Mongolian grill. Okay, Mongoli grill. Awesome. All right. And yeah, Reggie's saying, El Stacker, we have a new chef channel. Yeah, that'd be fun. Andreas, thanks, man. I think I have got some of those microwavable rice packets. Nice, man. Yeah, those are good too. Just easy, convenient. But man, when you get the chance, try to do the rice from scratch. It's super, super easy. And but yeah, the rice packets are a good call as well. In motion, no potatoes or mushrooms. Well, when I think of like stir fry, I think of like a very like Asian style stir fry. And so potatoes and mushrooms are not, I guess mushrooms could be, but not potatoes. Definitely not potatoes. In a stir fry, you can't put potatoes in a stir fry. That doesn't work out. Yanni, what are you thinking? All right, sweet, awesome. Andrea is saying TJ left his rice cooker here. Nice, man. Yeah, the rice cooker helps. You can also just do it just in a plain pot as well. You don't have to go too fancy. Sweet, cool. I think I got all the live chats there. Let's just double check. Sweet. Cool. Thank you guys all for tuning in for the live chat. Just been on here for over an hour, so gonna head out now. Hopefully, gonna get onto another live chat with David Jones in like an hour or two, maybe at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So in an hour 45 minutes. But I'm gonna go check to see if he's gotten back to me. But hopefully, at some point today, getting on a live chat with David Jones, talk about fingerboard week, or maybe we'll be on tomorrow to talk about fingerboard week with David Jones. But today or tomorrow, if you guys want to check out that interview as well, I do with David. We'll be doing that shortly. But yeah, I hope you guys are all being safe out there. Thank you guys all for coming to hang out with me, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully we get to go back on snow sometime soon. But yeah, appreciate it again. Thank you guys. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one soon. Later, everyone.